Nation, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. And of course, welcome back to Trading with a Purpose. And in this particular video, we're going to go ahead and have our orientation for GBPJPY. So if you're new to the channel, we're going through the series 365 days of our trading strategy, specifically focusing in on 4 specific pairs: NAS 100, GBPUSD, GBPJPY, and gold. If you're new to the channel or just stumbled upon this video, go ahead and rewatch the other orientation videos and get caught up on what's happening here. Without further ado guys, let's get into the JPY orientation. Let's go into the details about pound JPY before we start looking at it for the next 365 days. So quick introduction to GBPJPY, some key points to talk about here. The first one being pound JPY, often called the beast, is one of the most volatile Forex pairs that you can possibly trade. It is a cross pair with no direct USD involvement, but it is affected by pound USD and USD JPY movements. So keep that in mind. Pound JPY has large intraday price swings, making it attractive, obviously, to traders who can manage risk well. Now, talking about volatility, some key points about that. Pound JPY has an ADR of about 100 to 200 pips, making it one of the most volatile pairs, as we discussed earlier. Best times for trading hours for this specific pair, we're going to be talking about pretty much London session from 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. is the most active period with sharp directional moves for this specific pair. There are some moves also in New York when overlapping of London and the New York session come together, mostly for continuation trades or reversals based on what happens during London session. Asian session from 8 p.m. to about 1 a.m. typically lower volume, but can set up moves basically for the London session. Pound JPY often creates a false move before making the real move. So you'll probably see a lot of type 1 setups here, type 4 setups as well during the London session on this particular pair. So how does news impact pound JPY? Well, some key points on the news here. Pound JPY is highly sensitive to economic data from both UK and Japan. Now, some major UK news events that does affect a lot of pound JPY and how it moves is basically the Bank of England rate decisions and policy statements, the UK CPI inflation reports and GDP data, and then of course unemployment reports as well affect pound JPY. Now, looking at some key points for JPY, so major JPY news events that cause: Bank of Japan, obviously monetary policy; yen interventions by the Bank of Japan; GDP, industrial production and trade balance reports; and then pound JPY's reaction. So typically we're talking sharp moves, 50 to 150 pips within minutes after high impact news. Price may also fake out traders before the real move actually happens. So a lot of times if you're watching this play out live, you'll typically see like that huge spike and then immediately starts to go the opposite way. Very common on this particular pair. So let's talk about the market behavior of pound JPY. Some key points on this one. Pound JPY follows clear market maker cycles and levels of rise and drop. It frequently tests psychological price levels, for example 190.00 or 192.50 or 193. So you'll see price movements within specific psychological levels on this particular pair. Stop hunts are common before major moves. This is how market makers trap traders into going into the wrong direction, obviously. So some key pound JPY patterns. We're typically mostly looking at M&W formations at high or low of the day. We're looking at 3 pushes, 3 levels of rise and drop, and really stop hunts and reversals at key ADR levels. These are very typical movements that we see a lot on pound JPY. Now, talking about risk management, some key points on that. So pound JPY moves fast, so trading without a stop loss is extremely risky. Trading without a stop loss, by the way, is risky no matter what. So especially with this pair because it moves so fast. So recommended stop loss for this particular pair, it's going to be anywhere from 20 to 30 pips based on market structure. We're going to get into all this stuff in very good detail. We'll look at plenty of examples as we go through the next year of watching these pairs specifically. So don't worry too much about the details right now. We're just covering a quick overview of the pair itself. When it comes to risk per trade, we're still looking at about 1 or 2% of account balance. That doesn't really change too much. It just really depends on how much balance is in your account. Obviously, it's very important to adjust lot sizes according to pound JPY's wide intraday ranges. So make sure to keep an eye on these ranges that happen intraday, because that's going to help you a lot with determining the correct lot sizes. Again, we're going to get into all this in great detail as the year goes on. Now, some common pitfalls of pound JPY, some key points of that, pretty much the same thing as the other ones. Over leveraging, using big lot sizes due to pound JPY's fast move can be extremely dangerous for obvious reasons. Ignoring news events, not checking for major UK or JPY data can lead to unexpected volatility. Obviously, the first thing that you should do is always check to what's new and what news events are coming out for the day, so that way you don't get caught up in a bad trade in the middle of news release. Chasing price, obviously jumping into a trade after a big move often leads to losses. This is basically chasing a trade. You should never chase a trade. Trading Asian session breakouts. Many breakouts are fake moves before the London Open. So do not try to trade this pair during the Asian session. Let this pair show you what it's going to do during the London session. There's not a lot of volatility that happens during the Asian session except for when news is released for JPY, which is what's going to affect this specific pair. But those moves, again, happen in the Asian session, and typically they're huge moves right away that happen. So not a lot of movement that you're going to be able to pick up from the Asian range. So just stick to primarily London session, and if you need to, into some US sessions. Neglecting market structure. So not identifying the trend leads to poor trade decisions. Always remember that you're always trying to trade with a trend. You're never trying to trade against the trend, not unless you've had a complete structure shift, which again we'll talk about throughout the entire year on different pairs that we're going to cover here. So that is a quick overview of pound JPY. I hope you guys got something out of it. As you guys know, we did create a Discord. The link is going to be in the description of this video, so you can go ahead and join the Discord group. As I mentioned before, guys, the Discord group is specifically for people that are going to be following our strategy for the entire year. We're not looking for traders who are trading different strategies and things of that nature. Everybody in that Discord group, the goal is basically to be trading the same strategy, same pairs, talking same language. Okay, just keep that in mind whenever you join. So the link is in the description of the video, and we will see you in the final video of orientation, which is going to be pound USD.